Good evening. How you doing this evening? Thank you for joining me. If you're already here, it looks like we've got a couple of people here already. Can you hear me? Is my volume coming through? Can somebody post in the comments if I can be heard? That would be great. Hello, hello. There's a way I'll find out here in a second, maybe. Let's try something here. There appears to be sound. There appears to be sound. There appears to be sound. Maybe I ought not have should have done that. Can you hear me okay? I think I just verified that there's sound, but I also created some feedback loop. Hopefully that went away. Go ahead and let us know you're here in the chat. Like and share this stream and welcome. Thank you, Nalzy Punk, for letting me know that you can hear me. We'll be getting started on this meditation. It's not really a meditation. It's more of a technique in helping how I get help through meditation, through getting to that point of relaxation, and how I know I've reached a point of that relaxation. I call it the second breath, the second gate, and we'll go into that here in just a few moments. If you've had a chance to read the description, you have a little better idea of what I'm talking about. But I will go into greater detail here in just a few moments. Do you meditate frequently, infrequently? What's your meditation routine like? Let me know in the comments. And if you do meditate, do you have a breathing technique that you use? Oh, I see who that is here. Just saw the profile picture. I know who that is. Hello. What? See the little witch? I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes and then I'll go through this technique for y'all. It's something that I have found that really helps me get myself grounded. Got a little incense burning right now, and boy, does it sure smell good. I don't know what fragrance it is. It was just floating randomly on our duckering station here on our altar of chaos, I think is what I'll call it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. For those of you that have watched this process unfold before, I know I have brought this through on live streams from time to time, but it's a breathing technique that I was taught way back when in my youth that, well, it was for the process of learning how to stay centered and in control while I was learning fight training for martial arts. And you might ask, how does a breathing technique help through meditation if you learned it through martial arts? I actually have been asked that a few times, and I've had a hard time really explaining it until just recently I was able to find a correlation. So bear with me here. We all know that breathing is a very important process of just living. It's our animal selves needing to live by breath. And every breath that we draw in feeds that animal. And every breath that we let out releases the things that that animal no longer needs, those dead, dying, decayed cells that no longer serve a purpose in our body. And we take in that breath for the animal to live. But what I was taught so much or so many years ago about this second breath, I'm not going to go into what it meant in the martial arts training that I was exposed to earlier in my youth. It's how I've learned to adapt it in my spirituality now, in my meditations now. And it's just really a simple process of taking in a big, deep, full breath, as deep as I can possibly take. And that breath is for me, the animal, the person that sits here before you, the physical. It feeds the cells, it feeds and nourishes the body, it oxygenates the organs, it sparks the neurons in our body or in our mind. And then we exhale that deep breath. But here is how the double breath works: as we take in that full, deep, as full as we possibly can, and hold it at the top. But as we're bringing in that breath, we want to bring it in from our stomach, deep down, deep, expanding our chest and our shoulders and our rolling it around inside of our body and then blowing it back out. And that's where the second breath comes into play, because that one isn't for the body. That one isn't for the animal. That isn't for us. That second breath is for our spirit. I call it breathing for my spirit animal, activating my spirit animal. What's your spirit animal? Focus on that now, because that's what that second breath is for. You see, when we get to the top of that first big, deep inhale and hold, we're going to hold it for a few moments, several heartbeats. Let the pressure build for just a moment, because it is that pressure that drives energy up into our head. It's our head now expanding, saying, hey, you need something. And just before you exhale, suck in just a little bit more. That second breath, that extra sip of air, that is for your spirit animal. That's what activates and feeds that primal, more than animal self, that connection to spirit, to the divine. And then exhale. When we take that second breath, some of you might feel a popping or a expansion in the chest or in your core, and your diaphragm actually pulling just a little bit. That's that little bit more room that you've created for yourself to take in that second breath. As you practice this breathing over time, some folks have said that they've actually experienced a time when they take in that second breath, they can actually feel their third eye, their pineal gland popping, just a little bit of crackling. Spiritualists around the world have known that this second breath forces more pressure onto the inside of our body, which pushes the fluids deeper into our central core and up our spinal column and into our third eye, expanding it and pushing it outward. So try that now in this moment. Just take in a full, deep breath. It doesn't matter if it's through your nose or through your mouth, but pulling it in as deep and as full as you possibly can and hold it until you feel the pressure build. And just when you feel the need to exhale, suck in just a little bit more and then release. Did you feel anything different? In that second breath, were you able to get a little bit more? We're going to try it again, but before you do it, what I want you to do is before you take in that deep breath, just take a normal breath and exhale and push out all that you possibly can. Exhale, push through what you typically would exhale and go deeper, pushing all that air out, and then pull in a full deep breath of air. Exhale, push it all out. Draw in deep, full, hold, little more, release. That's that second breath technique. It opens up that second gate, allowing your spirit self, your spirit animal, your connection to the divine, or however you wanted to define it, access to the here and now, to you. It's a conscious invite to connect to your higher self. I challenge you to once a day practice this technique for 5 minutes a day. Just sit, breathe in, hold, breathe in a little bit more and release. Breathe normally. Exhale, push out all that you can push out, and then suck in more. Roll your shoulders and hold. Expand your chest, suck in a little more. Exhale. Practice this 5 minutes a day. And let us know in the comments if it's helping you in any way. If you feel an expansion in your core and your chest and your diaphragm. Are you one that might feel a little pressure inside your head cracking free? Let us know in the comments as you practice this breathing technique, the second gate or the second breath. Stay magical.